All right, so I don't know if you guys noticed, but in our videos, when we get back, my wife can't get it on the trailer here. She did at Cumberland, where it was nice and big open area, and she could come in kind of fast, and there was no current, whatever, like there is out here. Also, it was a flatter ramp, where this is the one over here is really steep, so the back of the trailer is way down in the water, and you're not really you're not really catching it. I do have the 2 guides on there in the front, but the problem with that is the strake here. When the boat's drifting, it lands on either that side or this side in the front. Actually, it's tearing the carpet up there. And these are really, really sharp too, by the way. I mean, like razor sharp. So it's just tearing it up. But I had trying to figure out something different to do. I did find a wheel, a piston that you mounted on the back here, and the wheel is up here, and then it floats. The wheel floats, so it comes up out of the water, and no matter no matter how deep the back end of this, it would catch the pontoon and steer it in. That would be really cool. I wanted to order them, emailed them, and they're not selling them anymore. So that sucks. Because I think that's a great idea. I don't know, I don't really know if it was patent infringement or what the deal is. I know a lot of that's going on. It's kind of sad, but can't get it, so just got to stop worrying about that and try something else. So what I found on Amazon is these. I don't know if these are gonna be any better because they're not gonna be that tall. They're roller guides. They kind of sit at an angle. We'll see. They found these on Amazon. I just think they might be too low. I can go up maybe one more frame piece, but that's where the guides are for the center. So it has to be on the back or the very front. The front doesn't matter. I mean, whatever. So I may end up putting these on the back, and then I may end up with guide posts on the side too. Maybe those could help bounce it in. Those aren't real strong though, and there's some force on this boat. The boat's heavy, so maybe they might help. I'm not sure. So anyway, we're going to try these. I'm going to open them up. We'll see what we got, and we'll go from there. I don't know, how does that open? Yeah, pretty much what I thought it would be. I don't know. We'll see how these work. They're not very tall at all. What I don't want is a straight landing on that either. We'll see. All right, let's bolt the sucker together and we'll try it. Alrighty. Ooh, that little frame's gonna be dang close, dang close. See, the problem is, if I come in and this is too high, this strake is gonna push that. That's what it's doing. Dang. So it's gonna catch on that and probably not. So I'm gonna have to leave it an inch on each side, because it's got to clear, this strake's got to clear this piece to the bottom. All right, well, the good thing is it sits higher than the other buckboard. The bad thing is It's at an angle. I should have got the straighter one. I was thinking that the angled one would catch it and then kind of knock it into place, but I wasn't thinking about this thing sticking out so far that I can't go past that. So I was thinking, well, I could put them over on the center, turn around and put it on the center too, but you'll have the same problem because when it's guiding, it'll hit that strake before it even clears to come down. All right, well, let's put this other one on and go from there. That's really all we can do. I think that worked. They're a little taller. Oh no, it's tough. It's tough. It's actually can go a little this way right now, but yeah, that should help some, I guess, maybe. We'll see. All right, so I still think I'm going to get the guides on the outside. I just need to see how they mount, because I wouldn't mind having those. If they'll mount on this trailer, I don't even know. But I think those will help. I don't know that they'll be great. Just depends on how deep those things go. If they're sticking out of the water, I think they'll be fine, but if they're not sticking out of the water, I don't think they're gonna be that great. So I don't know. That buckboard part though, the wood one where you can put it any height, and you can put it as deep as this is all the way to the top, that would give you about 6 or 7, well, that'd give you a foot more, and that would probably show. So I don't know, maybe that's the way to go. I didn't do that because I thought, well, the rollers would work better because those strakes are just slicing the crap out of the board that's under there now, the carpet on it. So all right, well, we'll give that a whirl, see what happens. All right, so one of the things I wanted to do this is LED lights. It didn't come with them. It does have the switch and it's pre-wired from my understanding. I just need to, and I bought the lights. I just bought 20-foot LEDs to run down the sides. So they're just stick on, I'll have to clean real good and then stick them on there. They do have some screw ties, but I don't think I'm gonna use those because I'm not going into wood. I'm gonna put them on the inside of this track right here, all the way down. It'll just go behind these little beams all the way down there, and they'll reflect onto the boat. I think that'll look cool. I did get blue because that's just the color that kind of goes with everything and goes with water. I don't know. So I need to find the wire harness, which I think I just did. That's for that light. Oh, here you go. There's an end right there. So I think that's probably going to be it. It's going to be up here somewhere anyway. And I'll get it figure out which puts voltage out with the switch that's already on the dash, and we'll go from there. Get that sucker plugged in and get some lights on this thing. All right, I will have to go, once I figure the wiring out, I will have to clean that track out all the way down, and then yeah, I think it's gonna be good. All right, so after pulling it apart, there's a nice little label on here that says dock lights, and the switch of course says dock lights, so I don't even have to do a test. Isn't that awesome? So I'm going to clean this track underneath here, and I'm going to get those LEDs on here and stuck on there, and then we'll go from there. Should be a pretty easy project, really. We'll see. Alright, so that went on there pretty easy. I just set it on that ledge all the way down. Yeah, I just tucked it up behind there. So in the front, I came up and around, so hopefully that holds. I know that's going to be a little jog right there that I am kind of worried about, because those tend to be the places where they get unstuck from, right? But hopefully it holds. So I did wipe it down with alcohol at the last second. Now I'm on this, and it has the little push pins. I don't have those. I'm just gonna take those off. I'm gonna solder it together so it's just soldered. right, I swapped the controller out and it works just fine. So I got a back controller. So I emailed the company. They put their email right in the box. So that was kind of nice. Right on their warranty policy, 12 months. So I emailed them to see if I could get another controller box, because obviously I have a bad one. And yeah, hopefully they'll send it to me. Part of me thinks I should have gone with red. Because I have a red stripe, I'm just not a big fan of red lights underneath the boat. At night, you won't even see that red stripe, so it'll just be blue shining on the water. And this will all be dark anyway, you can't see much. So anyway, I like it. Looks cool. All right, moving on. I'm going to go run and do some dirt work, and then I will be back and we'll get the other side at least stuck on there and see what they say for their stuff, and then we'll resolder the joints and all of the stuff back on there. I wish I hadn't pulled it apart now. I wish I had swapped the controller out before I pulled all that solder apart, but whatever, we'll get it. All right, I just got back from the boat store and got the last piece that I need, which is the digital to analog trim gauge cable. The problem with these boats is the new motors are digital and the boat has an analog trim dial in it. So anyway, I got to get the lid open and we're going to get this cable on. It's really plug and play, and then it should just work. So we'll see. Alrighty. Even comes with instructions. Wow. That's it. That's all she is. Cool. Alright, that cable's way down here in the bottom. Okay. There's the half that goes to the motor. I'll tuck that in there. So I just want to lose this cable. It's kind of hard to get to. All right, that's in. Boom, boom. All right. Now that's going to go to one of these right here. Probably the brown one with the white wire, I'd guess. Yep. All right, this side goes to the other side. It just goes in between. Boom. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then down here is a brown with white. You just pull the cap off of it. Plug that sucker in there. And the last piece is a ground. I'll tuck all this down there nice and neat now. So the last thing is this ground screw. So I just got to figure out how I want that to run. I'm probably going to run it back here and then over. The ground screw's right there. So I've got to connect it to that. All right, so let me get that connected. I'll get on this wire and we'll get it connected, and then that'll be that. Yeah. All right. Let's turn the key. See if the trim works. There it goes. All right, so that works. That's good. All right, since I had to wait for the new controller anyway, I went ahead and ordered the right pins so I can just plug into the ones I have there, and then I'll just add them back to the other side. These are marine, so I'll need to heat shrink them, so we'll do that real quick. And then this will be ready to go. I'll just need to clean with alcohol this rail and then put that light on. I think I'll complete that, zip tie those all up before I even start cleaning this. And then that project will be done. At least I'll have something done. seems like these projects all drag out because I'm waiting on this or that, or I don't get back to them. So this one's ready to go. It just needs to be heat shrunk up there, and then I'll shrink wrap those and those, and I'll be ready to go. So blah, 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 blah. And then we just need to zip tie that up where it won't get in the way. All right, let me get the heat gun. We'll get cranking. right, this side's ready to be hooked in, so let's go get the other side.
All right, we got the back side of the rail all rubbed down with alcohol from one end to the other. So now we have to do the same thing. We'll clip this. I'll probably use this GoPro that I'm holding and use it as a clip. Clip it there, go down that end, start taping it, and work our way back this way. So that's what we did last time too. So let's give this a whirl. There you go. Thanks for holding that. I think I got another GoPro around here somewhere. All right, let's see what happens when I flip the switch. Now, I will tell you though, I left the stupid key on the other day. So maybe, oh, light works there. Oh no, I see blue lights on both sides. So that's good. That's a good start. Or a good finish, I guess, to this point. Now, we already knew this side worked, but that's good, good, good. Everything looks good. Yep. And then we got this side. All right. All lit up. Ready to go. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, that wraps that up. Let's get on to polishing these tunes, huh? At least that's finished. All right. right, again, not a perfect job, but she's got a good shine to her. There's a couple places where I just can't get, but you definitely still see that water line. But the vinyl and the rubber will help us keep this looking good on the outside anyway, right? And it'll protect the tune underneath. So, all right, well, I'm gonna go wash up, get all this black off me because my hands are covered, and then I probably should do that rail up there before I do that. It's looking pretty spotchy. So let me get this top rail done real quick, manually, and then I will. Then I'll go clean up, and then we'll get going on getting alcohol on here, getting it all stripped down, because that, you know, we essentially, that Flitz has some oils in it, so we'll need to keep it stripped down. But you know, you want it as smooth as possible for that vinyl to stick on there, and the oils won't hurt the vinyl as much as it will the rubber strip. But we got to put tape down, and we'll have to Scotch Brite that area all the way down where we're putting that rubber rail, and then some primer, and then put it on. So a lot to it. We'll get there one piece at a time. Let me get this top rail on both sides, and then I'll clean up and we'll start the vinyl. I probably won't even video the top rail. It's just that little piece there all the way down I gotta get. So all right, I got the top rails cleaned off, so now we're going to put the vinyl on and then the rubber side. So I think we'll do the vinyl first, and then we'll tape off, because I like the vinyl to tuck under just a little bit on that rubber seal, just a bit. Not very much, but just a bit. And then we'll tape off and Scotch Brite the section that the 3M is going to go on, and then prime it, and then put the rubber on. So, all right, let's get to work. All right, so that was some dumb camera work. I had it on us cutting the thing, and I forgot to reset the camera for when we put it on the boat. We worked our butts off too. That sucks that you're not going to see it. You'll see the very end, I think, but that's going to be about it. But it's on there. It came out nice, I think. We had a couple issues on that first piece, trying to get the air out of it, but once it got out of there, and then right here it's really tough where the seam is, the welding seam, getting that on there, right? And then this is our seam. We overlaid ours almost 2 inches. But I think that's going to be fine. The water will keep presses this way, of course, and so it should hold it lay down. I probably will come back here and put a piece of silicone across the front of this, just because it'll keep it from lifting the edge of that, probably. But yeah, I'll see. But I think it's going to look pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and cut the stuff to the other side and let this dry. And then I think we'll probably put that on the other side and let that dry. And then we'll come back and measure our distance, put our bottom tape on there. Obviously, we don't need to put a piece of tape on the top because we have a line. And then we'll scuff the Scotch-Brite up in there, and then we will lay our rubber bumper on there all the way down. So it's coming out like I thought it would, so that's cool. Then of course, eventually I'll come back and chrome these up, all of them, and then put that shark hide or whatever on there to keep it shining. And then I'm probably just not going to worry about the bottom so much. We'll see. We'll see. Again, the object is to use the boat, not make it a garage princess, you know, because I have a tendency to do that. So, all right. We'll keep pushing bubbles out, and you keep seeing a couple of here and there. They're hard to see. We'll keep working on it, and we'll cut these other pieces for the other side, and we'll try to film that side. All right, I actually set the camera up aiming at what we're doing so you can see. She's about to alcohol the whole thing down, and then we'll get that on get the vinyl on there. Hopefully it goes nice and smooth. So, all right. Alright, so that piece went on. This was a little tough right here. This has got a big weld. Still not 100% with this right here, but we got it on there decent. And then this piece went on like a dream. Excuse me, went on like a dream. So there's a knot there from the weld, but we'll again put a little piece of caulk or something on the edge of this to make sure it doesn't get flipped up. But this one actually came out pretty decent. Okay, so we'll go back to the other side, I think, and we're going to do our measurements. We'll Scotch-Brite it, and then we'll put our primer, or clean it with alcohol, put our primer on, and then put our piece on there. It says to measure and then cut the rubber, but I think I'm going to put it on and then cut the rubber after it's on, because that way we know it's going to exactly be where it ends up in. So, all right, so far so good. That'll definitely be easy to wipe off as opposed to trying to buff it out each time the water spray gets on there. Plus it'll look nicer. So, okay, let's keep on trucking. I may have to work on these seams a little bit more. They come out, this one's, I guess it's on there. Just tough. Tough to get this stuff to get around all them little welds. So, all right, let's get on to the next piece.
right, the next step is the Scotch-Brite, which you just saw me do, and boy, that really scuffs it up. But yeah, and then you wipe that down with alcohol, and then we put the primer on, and then we put the sticker on. So cruising right along. This is actually going pretty fast. All right, so that worked out pretty well. There's one spot, if you saw me going back to it, it's right here where it just barely touches the vinyl. I really wanted that vinyl to be tucked in there just a little bit. That's the only place though. Everywhere else is tucked nice. Like here, it's almost too far. But yeah, it looks great. It looks great. It's stuck on there good. We'll just keep pressing on it, and I'll run the heat gun over the vinyl a couple more times. But I think we got her. So now we just got to do the same thing on the other side. Worked out good though. Worked out really good. I don't even know that I guess I do need to tape on the bottom to, you know, in the Scotch-Brite too. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even need to put the tape on, because I could just follow the top. But it makes sense. So that way the Scotch-Brite doesn't get too low and scratch up below where you're putting the sticker. So, all right, let's measure the other side and get our tape on and get that on there, and then we'll be in great shape. Looks good.
Hold the chair you never see until they disappear, and you fall to the ground. I'm the cold that shields the rain, to keep you dry, you never will complain. You don't need me in the sun, and I can't feel
All right, I got to get a little clear silicone and just put it right here to make sure that this doesn't lift somehow. But other than that, this is done. So I think it looks really good for a homeowner. Probably did as good as the pros would do, to be honest with you. But there's a couple bubbles here and there we got to keep working on. They keep coming up. I don't know why. But for the most part, it's all good. It looks really good. Came out pretty much almost perfect. So let's turn the lights on and see what happens. Thank you. It's pretty cool. All right, that's going to look cool. All right, well, that one's in the books. We'll probably run it. I will eventually chrome these fronts out and then coat them so that they stay chrome. Probably do the 3 noses, and maybe even do underneath here on each side, and then in the backs. There's stuff that you can see, I suppose. But this will save a lot of work, just being able to wipe that off, and then be good to go. And to save scratches and all that stuff anyway, because we plan to use the boat. So, all right. Well, until next time, I will see you guys next week. See you.
My heart